Have you ever wondered what every passenger gets wrong about flying? What if almost everything you thought you knew was not quite right? It turns out there are some pretty common misconceptions that most people have about how planes work and fly. And guess what? Today, we're going to clear the air and set the record straight. Let's start with a big one. Is turbulence actually dangerous? And here's the surprising part. Not really. Turbulence can feel scary, but it's incredibly rare for it to be anything more than uncomfortable. Think of it like hitting small waves in your car. Sure, you might jolt around a bit, but nothing that could seriously hurt you. But let's dive deeper into why this happens and how planes are designed to handle it. In the next scene, we'll break down exactly what turbulence is and how pilots deal with it. Stay tuned. Okay, so let's talk about something that really gives passengers the heebie-jeebies: flight risks. It's a common misconception that flying is inherently dangerous. But here's the surprising part. You're far more likely to be injured driving to the airport than during the flight itself. Now, imagine you're getting ready for a long drive in your car. You might encounter some tricky weather conditions, like rain or fog, or maybe there's heavy traffic. All of these things can make your drive a bit dicey. But when it comes to flying, the airline industry has come up with some seriously beefed up safety protocols. Airplanes undergo regular inspections and maintenance checks. Imagine those as like giving your car a thorough once-over every time you take it out. Pilots go through extensive training and recurrent testing to ensure they're always in top form. It's like having a licensed driving instructor every single flight. And let's talk about the statistics, which might surprise you. According to the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, flying is incredibly safe with an accident rate that's just a tiny fraction of 1%. That means if you flew on average every day for almost 30 years, you'd have about a 1 in a million chance of being involved in a fatal crash. Now, and here's the part most people don't know, the airplane itself is equipped with multiple layers of safety. Think of it like wearing a seatbelt while driving. There are so many redundancies that if something goes wrong, there's usually another system in place to catch you. So next time you're at the airport or on your flight, remember this. All those rigorous checks and double checks mean you're safer flying than you might think. In fact, the risks of getting injured during a flight are so incredibly low that it's like comparing driving through a hurricane with going for a casual stroll in sunshine. So, what exactly is this turbulence thing? Many passengers think it's a sign that something's going wrong, that the plane might even be falling apart. But guess what? It's nothing to worry about. Let me explain. Imagine you're driving down the highway in your car and suddenly hit some potholes. The car bounces and shakes, but somehow stays on the road, right? Well, it's exactly the same with a plane. When we encounter turbulence, think of it as hitting those potholes, but in the air. Now, here's the surprising part. Your airplane is built to handle this perfectly fine. The wings are designed like a seesaw. When they rock one way, they automatically push back on each other to keep things stable. It's just like how your car has suspension that helps you stay comfortable even when roads are bumpy. And remember those crosswinds at the airport? Those winds can make planes bounce and shake as they take off and land. But airplanes are tested for much more severe conditions than this. In fact, airlines test their planes with simulated turbulence to ensure everything is strong enough. So, next time you feel a bit of that bumpiness, just think of it like driving down a bumpy road in your car. Your plane is designed to handle these minor shocks, keeping you safe and secure. So, whatever happened to those crowded skies? You know, the ones where pilots are frantically trying to avoid each other like in a chaotic game of chicken? Well, that's not entirely accurate. Air traffic control is actually quite the opposite. Think of it more like a highly coordinated and automated dance. Imagine you're leading a group of dancers on a stage. Each dancer has their own moves, but there are clear instructions to make sure everyone doesn't bump into each other. That's kind of what air traffic control does, just in 3D space with planes instead of dancers. Controllers use radar systems and sophisticated software to keep track of every plane within a certain airspace. They communicate constantly with pilots using radio frequencies, basically like the referees on a dance floor guiding everyone through their steps. And here's the surprising part. It's incredibly rare for things to go wrong. Air traffic control has layers of backup systems just in case one system fails. It's like having redundant power sources at home so your lights don't flicker when there's an outage. So why is air traffic control sometimes seen as chaotic? Well, the news loves a good dramatic story and often focuses on rare incidents. But the truth is, most of the time, planes are flying in perfect synchronization thanks to these highly skilled professionals working behind the scenes. Now, back to your question, what every passenger gets wrong about flying is that air traffic control isn't just some haphazard system. It's a well-organized and tech-driven marvel. It ensures not only safety, but also efficiency, so those planes can keep on their schedules without too much delay. All right, let's talk about something everyone has wondered about. What if I'm scared of flying? It's totally normal to feel nervous, especially when you're up in the air at 30,000 feet. But here's a thing to remember. Every time you climb aboard, you're in incredibly capable hands. First off, planes are built like tanks. They can withstand all sorts of extreme conditions. It's not just about the materials, it's also about the way they're designed. Imagine your plane is like a really sturdy paper airplane that's been reinforced with Kevlar. The wings and fuselage are made to handle incredible pressures, way more than you could ever experience in turbulence. And don't forget, pilots undergo extensive training before ever stepping into a cockpit. It's not just about knowing how to fly the plane. They're trained for everything from weather disturbances to emergencies. They practice handling all sorts of scenarios in simulators, and they take refresher courses every year. So if there is any issue, you can rest assured that your pilot has faced similar situations before. But let's talk numbers because sometimes stats can be really reassuring. Did you know that flying is one of the safest modes of transportation? According to the FAA, the likelihood of a passenger dying on a commercial flight is about 1 in 23 million flights. Compare that to driving. Your chances are much higher than that. Even when there are incidents, they're incredibly rare and usually happen due to human error or unforeseen circumstances. So next time you feel anxious before boarding your plane, remember, flying is like being in a well-engineered structure with highly skilled professionals at the controls. They know what they're doing, and they have systems in place to handle any situation that might arise. And here's the surprising part. Flying has gotten even safer over the years thanks to new technologies and stricter regulations. It's a testament to human ingenuity and safety measures. So, what do passengers get wrong about flying? It's the misconception that flying is inherently dangerous or unpredictable. Let me set the record straight right now. Flying is an incredibly safe and highly regulated mode of transportation. You might think, but planes crash sometimes. And you're absolutely right. Crashes are rare, but they happen. But here's the surprising part. Statistically speaking, airplanes are safer than cars. Incredibly, according to data from the National Safety Council, the risk of dying in a plane crash is about 1 in 11 million flights. That's about as likely as being struck by lightning multiple times. Now, let's imagine you're driving your car to work every day. You encounter all sorts of risks. Other drivers might be distracted, road conditions can change suddenly, and there are always unexpected obstacles on the roads. But when you hop into a plane, the safety measures are just as thorough. Planes undergo frequent maintenance checks, pilots receive rigorous training, and air traffic controllers coordinate safe takeoffs and landings. All these factors work together to make flying incredibly safe. And here's another fascinating part. The vast majority of incidents that do occur are not due to catastrophic failures, but rather minor issues like birds hitting the engine or unexpected weather conditions. But even in those cases, modern aircraft and technology are designed to handle just about anything that comes their way. So, the next time you step onto a plane, remember this. Flying is one of the safest ways to travel long distances. Understanding why can help you feel more at ease during your flight. If you're curious about more aviation myths and facts, consider subscribing for more explanations. You might even find yourself looking at planes differently now, seeing them not just as machines that soar through the sky, but marvels of engineering designed to keep us safe.